welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Chevelle with Ultraviolet Stitches. That behind me is my dog Jose. We are currently trying out Christmas sweaters and getting ready to take Christmas pictures, which is mostly just a picture of him. So yeah, that's why he looks a little more festive than usual. I'm going to go over a few of my projects that I've been working on. And I have one fully finished item to share with you guys. So we'll save the best for last. As I said in my last video, I didn't really have plans for this week. I was just going to stitch on whatever I really wanted and follow my stitchy heart when it comes to my projects. So I got about 300 stitches into Randel Spangler's Home is Where the Magic Is. This is 2/1 tent, except in the really dark areas I have it as 3/1 tent to just kind of fill in some of the darker areas. As you can see, I'm working on diagonal, so I do diagonal parking. So I usually just stitch the first, this is a 20 stitches across. So I work 20 stitches, so I'll just work on that one row and then poke it down below in the next row or wherever it shows up again. And this is how far I've gotten. So I'm almost to the point where I will be hitting the bell tower again, which is it a bell tower? Whatever. Hitting the spire of this building again and getting some more of the snow in on it. So yeah, having a lot of fun with this Heaven and Earth designs. If you're wondering why it's so narrow compared to most of the Heaven and Earth designs, this is actually the Story Keep size. So it's a bit more narrow, and it's a cropped version of the original. The next project I worked on is my Winter Cabins by Dimensions Gold. This is a kit. This is the first kit that I ever bought. I still have it in the hoop, but as you can see, I'll put a picture of where I started here. And you can see how far I've gotten. So I've mostly been filling in this area. It's mostly snow and blue stitching. And I believe this is 2/116 on light blue Aida or light gray. And yeah, that's how far I've gotten. This is probably about like 400 stitches between this and this. So this is coming along. I decided to get it back out, especially if I want to finish it before the end of the year. I really like how this pattern is turning out. I have yet to attempt any of the back stitching on the trees. This pattern will be a lot of back stitching once it gets to that point. The only other project I have is my the only other cross stitch project I have is my fully finished Christmas ornament. So I showed you this finished last week. It is the Mill Hill beaded and stitched kit from the most recent release, so the holiday winter collection of 2021. I modified the pattern to look a bit like my dog, so I gave him pointy ears and a stubby tail. And once I had that finished, they give you a magnet to attach to it so that if you want to put it on your fridge or on someplace magnetic, you can do that. But I didn't want to hang it as a magnet. I didn't want to finish it as a magnet. So what I did was I finished it like a Christmas ornament. So this will be an ornament that can hang on my tree. I finished it with a little tassel. Honestly, what I did is I took any packaging, I cut out a basic shape twice out of the packaging, And this, honestly, this you could use cereal boxes, you could use any sort of pantry boxes. What I used was feminine hygiene products, but I had a box, so I cut it up and I wrapped both pieces of the packaging, the cardboard, flimsy cardboard, in fabric, and then I glued them together, and then I made cording, and I believe this red is 666, and the white is more of a cream color, and I think it was a color in the 800s. If you're really interested, ask me in the comments, and I'll be sure to give you the exact numbers. But then I just made cording and I glued it all around it, and then I glued this in the center. I probably won't finish it like this in the future, but this is the first time I ever made a Christmas ornament. And for a first time, I think it turned out pretty cute. The reason why I had to do a tassel on the bottom is because I didn't think about putting my ends in between the two pieces of packaging before I glued it. And at that point, it had already been glued and dried. So I just put them on the bottom, and then I wrapped a little extra cording around it to make it look like a tassel. And that's what I have. My first Christmas tree ornament that I ever made, fully finished and ready to hang on the tree. I like how it turned out. I'm thinking about adding like a piece of paper on the back to just write, like, to just title it and put the year. So to write like Little Jose or something like that with the year 2021. But I need to find a piece of fabric that I like that will coordinate well with this. Yeah, and that's my fully finished object. Very cute. Love it very much. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And I highly recommend male hair kits. I have another male hair kit that I'm saving closer to Christmas time, but I think that this is so cute. His beard is all messed up, and it's like the morning of Christmas when nobody has any of their stuff together and they're just enjoying their breakfast in their pajamas with their pets. So I'm really excited for this, but I'm saving it until it gets closer to Christmas time. The only other projects that I've made progress on are, I've still been squaring up my blocks for the quote that I'm working on. But I've gotten quite a few done already. So it's only a matter of time before I end up sewing these all together. And these are all pretty much ironed and pressed and squared. And yeah, once I get that sewn together, I'll be shipping it off to the long armor to finish. I'll probably show you guys before I ship it out. And that's really all I have working on. I'm not making any plans this week. Once again, I'm pretty much just stitching on what my heart desires. I might be working on a bit more Christmas ornaments because Christmas is right around the corner. And I don't have anything to hang on my tree except for my new Christmas ornament that I made. And then as far as purchases, I really haven't purchased anything. I want to purchase another big piece of fabric for a new hade. So I have two new hades that I'm working on. One is a monochrome with like 13 or 10 colors, and then the other one is like a beautiful horse. Let me show you actually what I'm gonna work on. One second. Okay, I'm back. So I'm actually gonna show you. I recently purchased these two patterns during one of the sales that Heaven and Earth Designs was having, and I really resonated with both of them. They had been on my radar for a while, so I just purchased them and decided why not So I'm going to do the view mockup in Pattern Keeper so you can see in general what it looks like. My screen is cracked, so I do apologize if that bothers you, but you know, we're working with what we have. It's like a black horse overlooking a cliffside, and there's a giant moon in the background, and yep, that's the first one. The monochrome one that I picked up is an MC Escher work. I think it's called Three Worlds, but it's monochrome, and I thought that that would be a nice break from all of the full coverage patterns I have going on that are like 90 plus colors or 80 plus colors, and you're trying to keep track of all your thread. This one only has 16 colors. 16 colors, which is very nice and short key. As you can see, it's like half a page. Wonderful. We love that. I'm excited for that. So I may be purchasing a big piece of fabric to work on. I'm not keen on doing it on 25 count just because I feel like I have a few pieces in 25 count and it's just not my favorite. It's a bit small for me. So I am going to try and get it in 18 count or 20 count, which is a bit closer to this count size. But that just means it's a bigger piece of fabric. I also want to do the monochrome one on either a gray, not a black or a white. So I may have to splurge a little bit for a gray coloring. But other than that, that's all that I have going on. So thank you for joining me. You guys have a wonderful Stitchy week. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you're interested. I post weekly, so you'll be able to see the progress that I made on all the projects that I showed you. And you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.